Hey y'all. All right, let's dig back in. Psalm 119 verse 102 is where we're going to start with today. And we're going to go back to our Proverbs chapter 4. And again, if we don't see anything else over these days and weeks that we've been talking about the hope of promise, I pray that we see the connected thread and that God, if he says it twice, it's important. If he says it once, it's important. But if he repeats himself, that adds emphasis, right? Adds importance. But how many times have we read what we're about to read right now? So Psalm 119, 101 or 102 says, I have not turned aside from your ordinances, for you yourself have taught me. I have not turned aside. I have not turned aside. I don't even know how many times we have read that. Do not turn aside from the right hand or to the left, but keep it in the center. It is the most important. All right, so Proverbs 4, verse 27, and this is the last verse in Proverbs that we'll look at with this Psalm 119. Listen, turn not aside to the right hand or to the left. Remove your foot from evil. It's the same thing. Turn not aside to the right hand or to the left. Remove your foot from evil. It's the Psalm 119 says, I have not turned aside. And Proverbs is again telling us not to turn aside. And this second part of Proverbs 4:27, it says, remove your foot from evil. And I think that there's some keys in that. The first part of the instruction is to turn not aside. So we stay with our eyes focused on the word, our heart, the eyes of our heart flooded with light so that we can know, right, from Ephesians chapter 1. And when we don't turn aside to the right hand or to the left, our feet stay steady on course. So when the instructions of Solomon are to remove your foot from evil, that can be seen or can be received or understood as you better shift it back into focus. Turn not aside to the right. Turn not aside to the left. Remove your foot from evil. I want to read these verses from Psalm 119 out of the Message translation, and I'm sure we'll go back into it from the Amplified. But Psalm 119 is so just rich. But we've talked about how in our previous verses, it says, your commandments make me wiser than my enemies. I have better understanding and deeper insight than all my teachers. I understand more than the aged. And that is for this reason. Listen to this. I'm starting in verse 89. What you say goes, God, and stays as permanent as the heavens. Your truth never goes out of fashion. It's as up to date as the earth when the sun comes up. Your word and truth are dependable as ever. That's what you ordered. You set the earth going. If your revelation hadn't delighted me so, I would have given up when the hard times came. But I'll never forget the advice you gave me. You saved my life with those wide words. Save me, God, I am all yours. I look high and low for your words of wisdom. The wicked lie in ambush to destroy me, but I'm only concerned with your plans for me. I see the limits to everything human, but the horizon cannot contain your commands. I think we need a pause and a Selah over that. May that be your meditation and discussion today. that everything human has limitations, but the horizons cannot contain his commands. I'm only concerned with your plans for me, God. Your plans and your commands, which Psalm 139 tells us that if we were to number his thoughts about us, there would be more than the grains of sand. I tell you what, we'll pick up there tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.